Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. What if the person you're crying over was never meant to stay? And what if the one Allah truly wrote for you will not enter your life with chaos, but with calm? We live in a world that celebrates dramatic love, intensity, obsession, emotional highs, and painful lows. We're taught that if it doesn't hurt, it isn't real. But Islam teaches something completely different. What if real love doesn't feel like anxiety? What if the person meant for you doesn't make you question your worth? Doesn't make you beg for clarity? Doesn't make you feel small in your own heart? What if the biggest sign they're written for you is the peace you feel around them? So think deeply for a moment. Not about how strong your feelings are, not about how attached you've become. Just one honest question. Does this connection protect your peace or disturb it? Because the person written for you by Allah will not trap you in emotional survival mode. They will not pull you away from Allah. They will not keep your heart stuck in confusion. If they're truly meant for you, it feels different. Let's talk about the signs most people ignore. When they're written for you, your heart feels Sakinah, not storms. Have you ever noticed how some people bring calm into your life, while others bring stress, overthinking, and emotional ups and downs? Islam teaches that when Allah writes someone for you, that connection carries Sakinah, a peaceful calm that settles your heart. It does not mean everything becomes perfect or problem-free. But deep inside, you feel safe rather than constantly worried. You don't spend nights wondering where you stand. You don't analyze every message again and again. You don't feel scared they might suddenly disappear or change their attitude without reason. Instead, there is emotional stability. You feel respected, valued, and emotionally secure. Real love in Islam is not loud chaos. It is not constant drama, jealousy games, or emotional confusion. Love that Allah blesses brings balance. It helps you focus on your life, your deen, your responsibilities, not distract you with anxiety. If someone constantly makes you feel uneasy, mentally tired, insecure, or emotionally drained, that disturbance is important to notice. Peace is not a small thing in Islam. The Prophet ﷺ taught that a believer's heart should incline toward tranquility, not ongoing distress. When something is truly written for you, even before marriage becomes official, you often feel a sense of emotional safety. Conversations feel natural. Silence does not feel threatening. You are not pretending or forcing anything. And remember this clearly: what Allah writes for you will not require you to sacrifice your inner peace just to keep it. True, blessed love feels calm before it becomes permanent, not chaotic first and peaceful later. You are chosen with honor, not left, begging for basic respect. When someone is truly written for you by Allah, you will be chosen with dignity. You will not feel like you are competing for attention. You will not feel like you are an option waiting to be confirmed. You will not have to lower your standards just to keep them interested. Basic respect is not something you should beg for. So respect means they speak to you kindly. They do not ignore you for days without explanation. They do not disappear when conversations become serious. They do not treat you warmly in private and coldly in public. They are consistent. Islam gives great importance to honor and dignity. Allah has already honored you as a believer. The right person will not make you feel small, invisible, or easily replaceable. If you constantly feel like you have to prove your worth, that is emotional exhaustion, not love. When someone is meant for you, their effort matches their words. They make their intentions clear. They involve their family when the time is right. They do not keep you hidden in secrecy while enjoying emotional benefits. They protect your reputation, not risk it. You should never feel like you are begging for time, begging for clarity, begging for simple kindness. If respect has to be demanded again and again, something is wrong. The person written for you understands your value without being forced to. And here is something important. When Allah writes something good for you, it does not require humiliation to maintain it. You are not supposed to lose your self-respect just to stay in someone's life. The right person chooses you with confidence. They do not hesitate in claiming you in a halal way. They do not leave you in emotional suspense. They do not make you question whether you matter. If someone truly values you, you will feel secure, not desperate. You will feel honored, not tolerated. Because what Allah writes for you comes with izzah, with dignity, not with emotional begging. Their presence strengthens your deen, or not weakens your connection with Allah. One of the clearest signs that someone is truly good for you is what happens to your relationship with Allah after they enter your life. Pay attention carefully. Do you pray with more focus? Do you feel more motivated to improve your character? Do you become more conscious of halal and haram? Or do you slowly start compromising things you once protected? The person written for you does not compete with Allah for space in your heart. They do not become the center of your world in a way that pushes your Creator to the side. Instead, their presence reminds you of Allah. You think about building something pure, something blessed, something that brings barakah. When a connection is healthy and written with goodness, it makes you want to become better. You lower your gaze more carefully. You guard your tongue more wisely. You think about marriage in a serious and respectful way. You feel encouraged to fix your bad habits, not ignore them. But when a connection is wrong, the opposite happens. Salah becomes delayed. Guilt becomes normal. Private conversations become secretive and heavy. You justify small sins because you don't want to lose the person. Slowly, your heart becomes attached in a way that weakens your obedience. This is a dangerous sign. The right person will never ask you to disobey Allah for their comfort. They will never pressure you to cross boundaries that Islam clearly set. They will respect your modesty, your limits, your values. They will understand that if something is meant to be, it must be done the right way. Even if marriage has not yet happened, the tone of the relationship reflects taqwa. There is seriousness. There is respect. There is awareness that Allah is watching. And here is something powerful to remember. Allah will never write a spouse for you who destroys your path to Jannah. The person meant for you protects your akhirah, not just your emotions. If someone enters your life and you feel closer to Allah, more mindful, more disciplined, more sincere, that is a beautiful sign. But if you feel spiritually weaker, more distracted, more careless, that is a warning you should not ignore. The one written for you will help you become the version of yourself that stands stronger before Allah, not weaker. Their intentions are clear, not hidden behind confusion. One of the biggest emotional burdens in relationships is confusion. Not knowing where you stand, not knowing what they truly want, not knowing whether they see a future with you or are simply passing time. When someone is truly written for you by Allah, that constant confusion usually does not dominate the connection. This does not mean everything becomes instantly perfect or crystal clear from day one. But overall, there is direction. There is seriousness. There is honesty about intentions. You do not feel like you are solving a puzzle every day just to understand their feelings. Clear intentions show in actions, not just words. They communicate respectfully. They do not give mixed signals. Warm one day, distant the next, without reason. They do not keep you emotionally attached while refusing to discuss commitment. They do not hide you when things should naturally move toward halal steps. Islam values clarity, especially in relationships that may lead to marriage. Protecting hearts, reputations, and dignity is part of our Deen. Someone serious about you does not enjoy emotional ambiguity. They seek respectful, halal progress. Confusion often creates overthinking. You reread conversations. You question their tone. You analyze small details trying to find reassurance. This mental exhaustion is not how peaceful, healthy connections usually feel. When someone is meant for you, their behavior aligns with their words. If they say they value you, you feel it consistently. If they speak about a future, they take practical steps toward it. Their actions remove doubt instead of creating more of it. Of course, life has tests. Temporary misunderstandings happen. Communication may sometimes be imperfect, but ongoing confusion, constant mixed signals, or emotional uncertainty should not become the normal state. Also remember, clarity does not always mean the answer you want. Sometimes Allah protects you by revealing unclear intentions early, so you do not invest years in uncertainty. That clarity itself can be mercy. The person written for you does not leave your heart trapped in endless guessing. You feel emotionally informed, not emotionally lost. You feel secure in their seriousness, not confused about their commitment. Because what Allah writes for you carries reassurance, not constant emotional fog. You can be fully yourself without fear of rejection. One of the most beautiful signs that someone may truly be right for you is this: you do not feel forced to become someone else just to keep them. You do not feel like you must hide parts of your personality, your values, or your faith to stay accepted. You feel safe being yourself. With the wrong person, you often feel pressure. You start filtering your words. You hesitate before sharing your thoughts. You worry that one honest opinion or one small mistake might push them away. Slowly, you begin adjusting yourself just to maintain the connection. That is emotionally exhausting. But when someone is written for you, authenticity feels natural. You laugh normally. You speak openly. You do not feel judged for your sincerity, your modesty, or your goals. You do not feel that love depends on constant performance. Islam encourages honesty, simplicity, and natural character. The Prophet, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, taught that the best relationships are built on sincerity and good character. If a connection forces you into pretending, that foundation becomes weak. The right person respects your principles. If you care about halal boundaries, they appreciate that. If you value modesty, they support it. If you want to grow spiritually, they encourage it. They do not make you feel too much for following your Deen seriously. You also feel emotionally safe to admit flaws. You do not need to appear perfect. You can say, "I am still learning," or "I made a mistake," without fear that they will withdraw love or respect. That emotional safety allows real growth. Another important sign is comfort in silence. You do not feel pressure to constantly impress them. Even quiet moments feel natural, not awkward. This shows acceptance beyond surface attraction. Remember, Allah created you with a unique personality, strengths, weaknesses, and a personal journey toward Him. The person meant for you fits into that journey. They do not force you to abandon it. If you constantly feel you must shrink yourself, hide your beliefs, or change your identity to keep someone. That is not peaceful love. That is emotional survival. The one written for you allows you to remain fully yourself. And somehow, that authenticity becomes one of the reasons they value you even more. Conflict brings growth, not emotional manipulation. Every relationship faces disagreements. No two people think exactly the same, and Islam never promised a life without tests. But the important question is not whether conflict happens. It is how that conflict is handled. When someone is truly right for you, disagreements lead to understanding and growth, not emotional damage. With the wrong person, conflict often turns into manipulation. Small issues become big fights. Words are used to hurt, not to solve. Silence becomes punishment. Sometimes love is even used as a threat, as if one mistake means everything will be taken away. This creates fear instead of security. But when someone is written for you, even difficult conversations carry respect. They listen instead of attacking. They try to understand before reacting. They do not rush to judge your intentions. And most importantly, they do not use your weaknesses against you later. Islam teaches gentleness in all matters. The Prophet ﷺ showed patience even when emotions were strong. A healthy connection reflects that same spirit. There may be disagreement, but there is still kindness. There may be tension, but there is still dignity. Another sign of maturity is accountability. The right person can admit mistakes. They do not always need to win the argument. They care more about fixing the relationship than protecting their ego. This creates emotional safety, where both people can grow. Emotional manipulation, on the other hand, slowly drains peace. This can appear as guilt-tripping, constant blame, ignoring you to control you, or making you feel responsible for their moods. Over time, this creates anxiety and insecurity. That is not the calm Islam encourages in relationships. Also notice whether problems bring you closer or push you apart. With the right person, solving a problem strengthens trust. You learn more about each other. You become more patient. You feel teamwork. But with the wrong person, every conflict leaves emotional scars and deeper distance. Remember this clearly. The person written for you will not use conflict to destabilize you. They will use it to build understanding. They will protect your heart, even when they disagree with you. Because love, blessed by Allah, is not proven by the absence of problems. It is proven by the presence of mercy, patience, and mutual respect during those problems. Over time, your anxiety fades and your security increases. One of the clearest signs of a healthy, Allah-blessed connection is what happens to your emotional state over time. At the beginning, some nervousness is natural. You are getting to know someone. You are learning their personality, their habits, their communication style. But as time passes, anxiety should slowly decrease, not increase. When someone is truly right for you, stability grows. You stop overthinking every message. You no longer feel worried about sudden changes in their attitude. You do not constantly question whether they care. Instead, consistency builds trust. Their words match their actions, and that reliability creates emotional safety. With the wrong person, the opposite usually happens. Instead of feeling calmer, you become more restless. Doubts increase. You feel uncertain about their commitment. Small things start triggering big worries. Your mind stays busy trying to protect your heart from possible disappointment. That emotional tension is exhausting. Islam encourages emotional balance and tranquility. A relationship moving in a healthy direction supports that balance. It helps you focus on your Deen, your responsibilities, and your personal growth, without constant distraction from emotional stress. Insecurity also shows in how comfortable you feel discussing important matters. You do not fear honest conversations. You do not worry that asking for clarity will push them away. There is room for openness, not fear-based silence. Another sign is emotional predictability. You understand how they handle stress. You know their communication style. You feel confident that even during difficult days, respect and care will remain. That predictability reduces anxiety naturally. This does not mean life becomes free from tests. Every relationship has ups and downs, but overall, the direction moves toward calm, not chaos, toward reassurance, not uncertainty. Remember, Allah does not write something beneficial for you that continuously destroys your inner peace while you hold on to it out of fear. A good connection may challenge you to grow, but it should not leave you constantly emotionally unsettled. When the right person is part of your life, your heart gradually relaxes, trust builds, fear decreases, and you begin to feel a quiet confidence that whatever happens, your peace is protected, because Allah is guiding the journey. You feel Tawakul and contentment, not desperation and fear. One of the deepest signs that something may truly be good for you is the feeling of Tawakul, trust in Allah, that grows in your heart. Instead of constant fear of losing the person, you begin to feel calm. Trust that whatever Allah has written will reach you without you forcing it. This does not mean you stop caring. It does not mean you become careless or passive. You still make effort, communicate honestly, and take responsible steps. But inside, there is less desperation. You are not panicking about every small change. You are not trying to control every outcome. When a connection is healthy and potentially written with goodness, it encourages contentment. You feel grateful rather than anxious. You feel hopeful rather than fearful. Even when the future is not fully clear, you trust Allah's timing more than your own worries. But with the wrong person, desperation often grows. You may feel scared they will leave at any moment. You might tolerate disrespect because you fear losing them. You may ignore red flags because you think this is your only chance at happiness. That fear slowly steals your peace. Islam teaches that what Allah has written for you will never miss you, and what is not written will never stay, no matter how hard you hold it. When this belief settles in your heart, desperation begins to fade. You stop forcing what feels unnatural. You stop chasing reassurance constantly. Contentment also shows in patience. You do not rush into decisions just to secure the relationship quickly. You allow things to unfold in a halal, dignified way. You value barakah over speed. Another sign is emotional balance. You appreciate the person, but they do not become your entire source of happiness. Your stability still comes from Allah first. This protects both your heart and the relationship itself. And here is something powerful to remember. Tawakul is not just about getting what you want. It is about trusting that whatever Allah chooses is better for you, even if you do not immediately understand it. When someone is truly written for you, your heart gradually rests in that trust. You feel secure without clinging, and you feel hopeful without fear. You feel peaceful without needing constant reassurance. Because love blessed by Allah does not grow from desperation. It grows from trust, dignity, and contentment, knowing that what is meant for you will arrive without costing your peace. And in the end, remember this carefully. Love, written by Allah, does not make you lose yourself while trying to hold on to it. It does not steal your sleep, drain your faith, or make you question your worth every single day. What Allah writes comes with mercy, dignity, and inner calm, even before everything becomes official. Sometimes we hold on tightly because we are afraid. Afraid this is our only chance. Afraid no one else will understand us. Afraid of starting over. But real Tawakul means believing that what Allah has written for you does not need desperation to survive. It will reach you with honor, not exhaustion. If someone constantly disturbs your peace, weakens your deen, confuses your heart, and makes you feel small, do not rush to call it love. Sometimes that discomfort is actually protection. Allah removing someone can be just as merciful as Allah bringing someone. And if you are still waiting, still hoping, still making dua, do not think you are forgotten. Allah prepares hearts before He connects them. He refines character before He writes companionship. Delay is not denial. Sometimes it is divine timing, building something stronger than what you imagined. The person written for you will not compete with your peace. They will protect it. They will not replace your connection with Allah, and they will strengthen it. And when that connection arrives, it will feel less like chaos and more like coming home to calm. So protect your heart, protect your deen, trust Allah's plan more than your emotions, because what is truly meant for you will never require you to lose your peace to keep it, too.